People may have told you that scripts are being rejected based on the first 10 pages. Be that as it may, I'm willing to bet most scripts are in the bin before the end of page 1. The first few lines give the reader all they need if the format is wrong, if they describe something invisible, or if they're just plain boring. These amateur signs get you out of the race before the first turn. Now, if you put it that way, it's no wonder you'd be crippled with anxiety heading for the nearest cliff edge. So instead of losing sleep over that opening image, consider opening on nothing, just the black screen.
Black. All important movies start with a black screen. And music. Edgy, scary music that would make a parent or studio executive nervous.
Brilliant, right? It leaves the hard work to the viewer's imagination, and at the same time, it creates anticipation. You'll be surprised how many professional writers open on a black screen or a variation thereof. Now, don't be mistaken, of course even the black screen can land you in the bin, so let's avoid that. I'll explain why and how to use it, how you can do the same smack bang in the middle of your script, and I will show you a genius example from the classics to push you to be more creative and surprise the reader. 50 years ago, Karel Gottlieb and Peter Benchley wrote the shooting script for Jaws. It would become the single most influential movie in Hollywood history, changing the entire industry. The script opens like this. Now, Over Black was formatted as a scene heading, including a scene number, and that appeared to be the normal way of doing things back then. Next, we read, sounds of the inner spaces rushing forward. That doesn't mean much to me, but it is somehow evocative. And what follows is a visual description, a splinter of blue light in the center of the picture. And then it breaks wide. And that's something Spielberg has always loved, opening up from small to big. After a somewhat mysterious and suspenseful description, we cut to the first slug. Hugely effective, and no wonder writers have used this technique forever. But I'll show you a more intuitive style in a minute. Now, what did this opening look like? As Lego Batman said, this whole black screen business makes executives nervous, and it doesn't take long before the Jaws credits shatter our virginal black screen. Writers have no control over what the director will do, and the director has no control over the studio boss. The writer's opening is often ignored, as we'll see in many of the examples, even when the writer directs. The first lines of Barry Jenkins' Oscar-winning Moonlight look like this, but the production companies stole his thunder with a stack of logos that diminish the impact. Now, Jaws made so much money that Spielberg could bargain for a little more black leading his next film. He knew there's something mesmerizing about black. It's pristine and pure, like the desert at night. A visual detox. The darkness cleanses our retina before the first frame, so anticipation builds until the full force of the opening image explodes onto the screen. It's effective, but some screenwriters make a mess of it. So pay attention so you don't get caught with your pants down because of your old, confusing or messy techniques. Looking at you, Coppola and Cooper. Tarantino showed at the start of the Pulp Fiction script how simple things can be. No need for a scene heading or even over black, because we get it. In Joker, over black is flushed to the right as a transition, then we have the description here, laughter, followed by another transition, flush to the right, fade in. I can smell mothballs here. These two transitions make our eyes dart all the way to the right for not a lot of return on investment. And while it's correct, it also feels archaic, overly technical and cumbersome. We can do better than that. In the same year, 2019, Robert Eggers wrote The Lighthouse, where we find a delightful simplicity. The first line simply says, black, full stop. Then a clean description of the sound, followed by the title card and a scene heading. No transition. To me, this works wonderfully. Minimalistic, just like the movie. The opening of The Whale, at first sight, is simple, clear and evocative, but I don't like it. Opening credits over black. Slowly, we begin to hear the sound of ocean waves in the distance, calmly lapping against the shore, slowly building in volume. Technically this works, but the word slowly twice makes me paranoid that the reader will think this is going to be a slow movie. Do what you like, but I won't use the word anytime soon. The finished film changes things around. First the bus scene, then the zoom screen with all the students, and then push into black.
I know these rules can feel constraining, but remember, the point of this course is to learn how to write clearly and persuasively. That's how you can effectively communicate your ideas.
And finally, the ocean waves from the script. It's a clever variation on over black, and a better creative solution that probably happened in the edit. On page 3 of All Quiet on the Western Front, we smash to black for the title. The script is the director's shooting draft with lots of attention to visual detail, including camera direction and transitions. Smash to black may be straightforward and effective. It's unnecessary unless you're also the director or producer. They will determine where the title will come in. But if you really want to, for effect, you can use cut, fade, wipe, roll, or vignette to black. Jordan Peele's Nope has a long audio description including dialogue tagged as off-screen. One tag is missing, and it should strictly be voiceover. And then it says quote fades in with the quote, which could have simply said super or text on screen. While the opening is suspenseful and effective, it's a bit messy on the page. But you know what? Nobody cares. This is Jordan Peele, the man who wrote and directed Get Out and Us, together costing less than $25 million while bringing in more than $500 million. But you and I should not practice bad habits, and while the following 3 examples are not all necessarily wrong, I find them distracting, and some producers may agree. Maestro opens over black, flush to the right, and then we hear the piano beginnings of, instead of simply a piano plays. And it gets worse. Music titles are bold and underlined and italicized. That may set up a convention for referring to Bernstein's music in the script, but those first lines read like a cluttered mess written by a writer-director, which obviously Bradley Cooper is. Well, are you? I'm not. The zone of interest opens with black as a scene heading, and then thermal night vision in caps. Only there is no vision, only music. Then follows the title with the note in white letters. Seriously? You tell me, what color did you have in mind when you read that? Exactly, it's another writer-director shooting script with too much inconsequential detail. Unless you direct, keep it simple. Sofia Coppola wants to put the toothpaste back in the tube after she writes exterior Narita Airport night. We hear the sound of a plane landing over black. No, I can't unsee that airport. Let's make our scripts stand out in a good way and learn from all the President's Men. The shooting script is plain genius. If the following doesn't light a fire under you, nothing will. And I know, he was William Goldman, and the year was 1975, and anything was possible. But perhaps, if we want to bring that back, we just need to write like Bill. Visually, imaginative, and bold. You can write over black like a scene heading, with or without scene numbers, or as a description followed by a colon, a full stop, or simply a descriptive sentence. You can use this technique to open or mid-movie by cutting, fading, or smashing to black. But the golden rule, keep it simple, no clutter. So avoid headings or scene numbers, and there's no need for a transition that flushes your eyes to the right. So finally, our winner for Best in Style is The Lighthouse. Eggers achieves clarity and simplicity, and it's one of the few examples that survives pretty much unscathed in the finished film. On the screen, after the opening company leaders, we have no less than 20 seconds of black. Now that's brave. And don't forget, instead of typing fin, the end, or fade out, you can cut or smash to black at the end as well. When you've said something particularly insightful, incisive, or inspiring, you fade to black. If you found that helpful, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and then hit the bell button so we can notify you next time we have some great content. And if you're about to write a screenplay draft of your own, then make sure you check out the immersion training courses. They're the best preparation. Happy watching, happy writing. Cheers.